Hello and welcome to TotalControl, the ultimate in-game GUI admin plugin for Rust servers. From hardcore PvP to relaxed PvE, TotalControl gives you live, full control over gather rates, stack sizes, smelting rewards, and much more. Let's dive in. With the Gather Rates page, you can set the gather multiplier for any item, whether it's found in the wild or in a crate or barrel. You can also set or alter the gather rate for quarries and excavators. It can all be done from this easy-to-use page. You can easily change the multiplier using these buttons, and if you make any mistakes, simply press the reset button to return to default settings. Alternatively, you can set the multiplier to a specific value by typing it in the box. You can quickly and easily change the gather rate for any item. If there are any items not already listed in the Gather Rates page, you can add them by using the chat command add_gather, followed by the item's short name. I will show this by adding in the rows. As you can see, the rows is now added to the Gather Rates page, and we can set the gather rate for it. Similarly, you can also remove items from the Gather Rates page by using the chat command remove_gather, followed by the item's short name. I will show this by removing the rows from the Gather Rates page. Next up, we have the stack size page. This page allows you to change the stack size for any item in the game, whether it's a weapon, a resource, or even a piece of clothing. Similar to the Gather Rates page, you can set the stack size multiplier by using the buttons or by typing in a specific value. With the stack sizes, you have the option to multiply the stack size or set a specific stack size. For example, if you wanted to set the stack size for wood, 220, then simply type 20 and change the X to a equal sign. Alternatively, you can set the multiplier for entire categories. But if an item's stack size is set above 1, then that item's stack size will not be set by the category multiplier. Just like the Gather Rates page, you can add or remove items from the stack size page by using the chat commands add stack and remove stack, followed by the item's short name. I will show this by adding in the rows and then removing it from the stack size page. Once an item has been added, the stack size can be altered very easily. After removing items, the stack size will return to the default size. Next, we have the smelting page. Here you can set the smelting speeds. the charcoal and resource output, and the fuel usage for each oven type. It's very easy and straightforward to change the smelting speeds and outputs. There is no need for any config files or reloading the plugin. With the mixing table, you can change the mixing speed and set the output multiplier. As you can see, it will take around 100 seconds to mix 20 basic healing teas. But if we change the mixing speed to ×10, then it now only takes about 10 seconds to mix the same amount of teas. Again, it is very easy to set the multiplier for the mixing table. I will set it 2 × 4 for this example. With the cooking workbench, you can use the mixing table settings to also control the cooking time and the output multiplier. As you can see, the smelting page is very easy to set up and alter to your liking. The same settings work for all types of ovens as well as the mixing table. The only difference is that the mixing table setting and the electric furnace settings do not have the charcoal output or the fuel usage options, as they are not needed for those types. Up next, we have the rewards page. This page allows you to set rewards for many different things, from hunting animals, emptying crates, or even just for spending a certain amount of time on the server. Let's go over these settings. First, the modifiers at the top of the page can be used to increase or decrease the reward amount. Below are the settings for the rewards. With the Divide, Bradley, and Heli loot, you can choose to reward all players that help take down Bradley or Heli, or you can choose to only reward the player that gets the final blow. You can choose to reward players after they have fully mined a node or tree, or you can reward them for each hit they land on the node or tree. The show message option is fairly straightforward. Having it on will display a message in chat for the player when they receive a reward. You can choose between 3 different reward types: scrap, economics, or server rewards, or you can use all 3 at the same time. And the final setting is for if you want to use the UI Notify plugin found on UMod to display your reward messages instead of the default chat message. I have also added some options to allow you to use different message types from the UI Notify. Now I will show you how some of the rewards work. First, select which rewards you want to use. Each reward type is represented by color, with orange being for scrap, blue for economics, and red for server rewards. You can reward players for destroying any of the barrels, or emptying any crate with the reward going to the player who takes the final item from the crate. You can also reward players for gathering things like nodes, berries, or even hemp. There are also rewards for killing any animal, NPC, or other players. You can even reward or deduct rewards for team member kills or respawns if that's how you want your server set up. For the message to show for the players when they are rewarded, remember to turn on the setting. This is the types of messages players will receive from using the UI Notify plugin. I will also show how the default message looks in chat. Just like the gather rates and stack size pages, you can add extra items to the rewards page. I will show you by adding the rows to the rewards page by adding the prefab name, which is rows-collectible. With the rewards page, when extra items are added, a new category is created at the end of the rewards page called Extra Rewards. It is that easy to add new rewards for players. And to remove, simply just use the chat command, remove reward followed by the prefab name or ID. Lastly, with the rewards, I want to show how the playtime reward works. In the green box, you can set how often a player gets rewarded in minutes. I will set to 1 minute for this example. Now moving on to the settings page, here is where you can set up the type of server you want to run. Let's check out some of the options. First up, we have some options for skipping the night cycle. You can use Auto Skip Night. This will automatically skip the night as soon as it reaches the end of day, which is set here. And then instantly set the time to the start of day you set here. Or if you prefer to let your players decide, you can turn on the vote option. Here is where you can set the percentage of your server population that needs to vote for a successful skip. You can also limit how many days in a row players can skip before they have to complete a full night cycle. Just set the number here, or leave it at -1 to disable the limit completely. And the final option for the day cycle is to freeze the time of day to whatever time you set in start of day. With these two options, you can display the server time of day or the date. Here, you can set the anchor position for the date and time to place exactly where you want. With this option, you can choose whether or not players will see a mode selection icon in the bottom right of their screen. These two options are where you can set how long in real time the day length and night length are. This is where you set the server date. And this is the chat command that players will use when voting to skip the night. You can set it to be whatever you want. Now we move on to the mode selection. Here you can choose to turn on PvE mode manually, or switch between PvE mode and PvP mode automatically, either using the default server time or real time. With this option, you can choose whether or not players will see a mode selection icon in the bottom right of their screen. The raid protection has some similar options to the mode selection. You can manually turn on or off RAID protection. Or you can set it to turn on and off automatically using either the default server time or real time. There is also an option to display a RAID protection icon in the bottom right of the player's screen, similar to the mode selection icon. With the offline RAID protection, you can set a cooldown timer, which is for how long after a player goes offline before RAID protection turns on for that player. With the Show RAID Message option, you can decide if players get a message appear on screen when trying to raid a protected base. And the final 4 options in the settings page are to disable either shotgun traps, flame turrets, auto turrets, or even the SAM site from targeting players. This does not affect safe zone functions or other plugins like raidable bases. Only player-owned traps can be disabled with this function. Now for the final section, the schedule page. Here is where you can set up your entire wipe to run exactly how you want, when you want. You can set up to 5 different sets. Each set you can go through and set different settings for every page we have covered in this video. And then set the date and time for when you want that set to be active. First, select which set you want to edit. Then select the start or end date and select the date from the calendar. You can then set the time you want the set to start and finish. When a set is selected, you can choose to use real-time or server time by toggling this option. Next, go through and set all the settings for each page you want to use. Only pages that have a tick next to use this page will be used when the set is active. The rest will be run from your default settings. Remember to press the Save button before returning to the main schedule page. When editing a set, the date and time appear orange, and when a set is using server time, the date and time appear in blue. And when a set is using real time, the date and time appear in green. Remember to enable each set you want to use by toggling this option. Only sets that have a valid start and end date can be enabled, so make sure to set the date and time for each set you want to use. Remember to save. And that's TotalControl, the ultimate in-game GUI admin plugin for Rust servers. From hardcore PvP to relaxed PvE, You now have full control over gather rates, stack sizes, smelting rewards, settings, and even your entire wipe schedule. Any admin with the correct permission can join the server from anywhere in the world and change every setting live in-game with just a few clicks. The download link is in the description. Take full control of your server today. Thanks for watching.